Welcome to the Underground Nation podcast, where real stories meet raw sound. Today, we're featuring Alex Sandra, a Russian-born, Georgian-American metalcore artist turning pain into power. From international stages to the California music scene, she blends intensity, identity, and fearless honesty into every track. In this episode, she sits down with your host with the ghost, Bounce Ball Boogie, for an unfiltered conversation about resilience, artistry, and building an independent music career from the ground up. Underground Nation, let's get into it. Here's Alex Sandra with Bounce Ball Boogie.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Underground Nation podcast with your host with the ghost, Bounce Ball Boogie. Today, we're crossing borders, breaking barriers, and diving into the world of a powerhouse whose voice and story demand to be heard. From the streets of Georgia to the neon lights of San Francisco and Los Angeles, this Georgian-American metalcore queen is rewriting what it means to turn pain into power. She shared her voice on stages from the Palace of Fine Arts to corporate headquarters at Meta and Intuit. She's performed across continents, rocked crowds in China, and now she's shaking up the West Coast with raw lyrics about identity, perseverance, love, and survival. Her name is Alex Sandra, a voice for the voiceless, a fighter for those who have endured trauma, and an artist who blends the fire of architects with the spectacle of Lady Gaga. So buckle up, Underground Nation, because this is about to be a journey through the sound, struggle, and triumph with Alex Sandra. Welcome to the podcast. How are you, Alexandra?
I'm good. Thank you for the killer intro. That was incredible.
Yes. Well, you are a killer artist and you deserve it. So thank you so much for taking the time from your busy schedule to speak with us today.
A pleasure to be here with you.
Yes, I'm definitely excited for this one. Well, Alex, take us back. When did music first grab a hold of you and become more than just sound, but a way of survival?
I started listening to music like early childhood, and I always actually wanted to be a musician. I don't know. I just like, as long as I remember myself, I was thinking like, oh, when I'll grow up, I'll be an artist. And particularly rock music, something when I started like realizing that I'm into rock, alternative rock music. It was when I was in grade 7. That was the first time I actually heard Linkin Park. And I was like, oh my God, what is this genre? I didn't even know that. Like I heard this distortion guitars. I was like, what is this? Somebody explain to me. I haven't had even vocabulary to like describe what am I asking about. My childhood was pretty rough, and music became my escape because when I started diving in, I discovered lots of music back then. It was like 2000, early 2000. I had listened to Offspring and German bands like Guano Apes and other stuff. And that really I felt accepted in the community because I felt like I'm kind of a little odd and my peers would not completely relate to me. And this music felt like I'm part of something bigger and I'm not lonely anymore. And this is when I started engaging with the rock community as a listener. But later on, when I turned 15, I felt brave enough to post actually in physical magazine that was called New Musical Express, which was very popular in Eastern Europe. And I posted them looking for a band. And this is how I got my first audition.
Wow, incredible. That must have felt amazing to be able to step into that position.
Yeah, it took me 6 months before I...
That's amazing. That must have
was brave enough to post that I'm looking for a band. I was like, oh, of course I'm not good enough for auditions. But then I was like, you know what? No, I'm going to try. I'm going to do it because it's my passion. So
that's right. Push through.
Yeah.
For you. Good for you. You mentioned influences like Architects and Lady Gaga. How do you balance the intensity of metalcore with the theatrical, pop-driven energy of Gaga in your performances?
Well, I think, first of all, Lady Gaga is such a queen. Absolutely love her. I'm a big lover of rock music and also pop music. I was always, I would say, alternative girl since my teens. But then over time, I started transitioning to modern metalcore. And between my day job is actually being a musician. I'm a gigging musician. So I play for hotels and corporate events, even though I really, really love metalcore, and it is something what actually feels like healing to me.
Yeah.
I also love Lady Gaga and Adele and Alicia Keys, and I sing them with great pleasure. So I would say my alter ego is this pop singer, Barbie doll looking girl during
Oh my,
daytime.
no kidding. Where did we go see this Barbie girl during the day? I want to pull up.
Well, that's whenever I play for the hotel. I play grand piano and I sing Born This Way. And
No way. That's amazing. That's talent right there.
thank you. Well,
Dude.
honestly, when I feel like at lowest and like emotionally very like when I need to recharge my batteries, I hit
Yeah.
on architects or wage war and like I feel like they scream for me. Like when I'm in the car, I was like, yes, I love this. This is amazing. And then I don't know. Then when I'm going to the work, I'm listening to all of that classy, jazzy, and soul music. So
That's incredible. Wow. So you're a full-time musician. That is so cool. Was there a specific moment or experience in your youth that made you realize music wasn't just therapy, but your calling?
yes, I grew up in a very dysfunctional family. I survived lots of different types of abuse, domestic violence, and unfortunately, I didn't have too much freedom, physical freedom in my for many years, I would say. And music was the only thing what actually gave me understanding that even though physically I am kind of like locked into this situation, mentally I'm free. And rock music particularly because rock music has this little like darkness which suits my soul because like when you are growing up in abusive household, it scars you, you know? And
Yes,
then
it is.
you need something to relate to. And I know that rock music kind of like associates with dark and bad things. But to be honest, for me, it was real escape. Like my mom would say, like, oh my God, this is a noise. This is not a music. Or like, it's Satan's music. I was like, you know what? This is the most nice thing what happened in my life for the last, I don't know, 5 years. After a very, very rough and harsh day, when I went through unimaginable, anything what child would never have to face, I would lie down, put headphones on, listen to the music, and I would think, my spirit is not broken. One day I will escape from this situation and I will be free. And even though it feels like I don't have this freedom, music was something what was holding on, you know?
Absolutely. So when you look back to those memories and who you are today, do you feel accomplished?
I feel very proud of myself.
Absolutely. I'm very proud of you also, just hearing the story. It's amazing for you to persevere through all the toughness and be able to find a sense of success and build a career for yourself doing what you love.
Think music has a big power of healing and empowering.
Yes, yes, absolutely. You mentioned you had lived and performed in China for a time,
Yes.
singing pop hits for massive audiences. What was that culture shock like for you?
You know, it was interesting. I was a single mom back in my country. I was single mom and rock musician, and we would like perform for the best rock shows and rock clubs and festivals in my local area. I was kind of like locally known. By the way, I don't know if you would know Alex Terrible. We are from the same region.
No.
And when he was rising, I was also kind of like locally known alternative girl with my new metal band. And yeah, like that area actually in Russia is considered like a place where rock music is like made. So, but here's the thing, because I was working mom, single mom, right? I needed to provide for my child, so I worked a lot. And under pressure of my day job and night rock shows, I kind of let a break and burned out. So I was like, you know what? I'm so done. So I was like 26 and I had mortgage and I had child and I had my foster kid. Like I took guardianship over my brother. So it was tough. And
Yeah.
I burned out and I was like, you know what? Fuck rock music. I was like, you know what? I'm so fucking done. I never get paid. I need to provide for my kid. I'm going to switch to pop and see how it goes. And I was like, oh my God, I felt so low. You know, like I would, because when you're young, you're very like controversial. Life is
Yeah.
either black or white. And
Right.
when I was young, I was like, I will never sing cover songs. I will never sing somebody's. I will be singing only originals. 6 years later, when financial pressure absolutely fucking broke me, I was like, you know what? I'm going to sing pop now. So I moved to China and I toured and I sang pop songs, pop music. And you know what? I realized I was so wrong. Pop music is amazing and it actually requires lots of vocal skills and professionalism. And oh my God, it was incredible. I actually performed for my first stadium in Russia, in China.
No.
I performed for TV shows and I even wrote original songs for Chinese New Year TV show. So it was big. It was huge.
It is. That is incredible to learn about.
And then I came to America. I was still a pop singer. I released and I was standing on the stage of Palace of Fine Arts in front of 900 people, opening for my childhood with Idol, Georgian Idol. She's like underground fusion jazz singer from Georgia, country, Georgia. And I was honored to open her show as Alex Sandra, like as independent artist. And I was standing on the stage in front of 900 people. And I was thinking, oh my God, this is not what I want to do.
Oh my
and this
goodness.
is the moment. And this is the moment when I realized I'm done with pop. I'm going back.
Yeah, it was that moment.
That moment in front of 900 people. I would rather play for empty rooms, but I will play music makes me feel alive. Although I really love pop is great, but prog is what really is who I am. I tried to leave. I tried to escape. Didn't work.
I get it. It didn't work. It called you right back in, baby.
So now I'm back to nothing.
That's awesome.
If you're liking what you're hearing from Alex Sandra, just wait until you see what else is waiting for you. Underground Nation is where real artists live. Raw interviews, independent music, unfiltered conversations, no industry filter, just authentic talent from around the world. Discover your next favorite artist today. Download the Underground Nation app now. Available on the Google Play Store and tap into the culture. Stay independent. Stay underground.
But how did that experience of performing covers and playing those bigger events with stadiums and such, how did that form your original music today?
Well, pop music, I don't think had too much influence. I mean, it's hard to say. I don't really use that much of pop techniques with my music, but it actually really helped me to improve my stage presence and my resilience. I can perform up to 7 hours nonstop.
Hit it.
Yeah, I actually already beat my own record. I had a Christmas gig when I was performing 7 hours. And then so I was like, you know what? I'm ready for a tour. I'm in the best physical shape right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Actually, my rock music implements pop more because when I sing songs like Nars Berkeley, Crazy, this rasp in my voice goes straight to that, like, that thing I'm crazy. And I'm adding that rasp in the voice. And that actually really works well.
Yeah, absolutely. That's incredible. Oh my gosh. That is just amazing. Well, then let me ask you this. Were there challenges in being an artist in a completely different country from language to identity? And how did you navigate those?
You know, surprisingly, that's not a big difference in between countries. And so when I was back into my country, I was always thinking like, oh my God, I will travel, I go to Hollywood and California where the heart of the music I love so much is. Although I would listen lots of European bands too, because like rock music in Europe is big. But my heart was always like towards America, California, because like most favorite, like System of a Down, this band that was something what I really like loved so much. And they were like in Los Angeles in Glendale, and I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna. And I would imagine that music culture here is a little different than in my home country. But no, I come from very underground niche, and underground scene is the same everywhere. People, I guess music has this worldwide, international, unspoken, not rules, but like community identity, something. So when you are in the underground music there, it's actually same as here. So when you come, you kind of like,
oh my goodness. I cannot wait to go to another country and experience this for myself. I have to.
It's same. The only difference is cultural aspect, historical cultural aspect. For example, because I'm from former Soviet Union, we didn't had actually access to things you guys had when we were same age. So like, for example, in my childhood, I would listen cassettes. And I guess this is something what older generation would do in America, because when you guys already had access to CDs, in my country, we still haven't had CDs. So that's something different. But like we thrifted our merch and we up it and same stuff like you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Very cool. So you saw the evolution.
Yeah.
Same here. I started with, I remember that we had the 8-track, and then the 8-track turned to the cassette, then cassette to the CD, and the CD to all digital. Don't need them no more.
I never experienced the 8-track. I actually learned about 8-track existence during my interview with the radio station in San Francisco. I was like, what 8-track is?
Yeah, don't worry about that. It's old news anyway.
Pager. It was a glimpse.
Yes. They used to be like really, they look like a video game cartridge.
Burning pain I can't digest. The scars that crawl beneath my skin reminded me what has been. I can't take no more. I can't take no more. Sleep was not a paid price. Forever to the sacrifice. I can't take no more. I can't take no more.
But your lyrics deal, and you kind of said it earlier, your lyrics deal with heavy themes like sexual assault, domestic violence, and child abuse. How do you balance making music that's cathartic with not being emotionally drained by the subject matter?
Thank you for asking. This is very good topic to talk about. And I'm glad that we are not censoring words because I have a hard time of talking actually publicly about this.
We're not censored.
Thank you so much. So I'm in therapy for 7+ years. And these topics are hard for me, but I already got used to verbalizing them out loud. And I think people should talk about this more because unfortunately things like sexual assault or domestic violence normally stays in the shadow of shame. And that's why there's a lot of reason why people who are survived this are afraid to come out and speak out loud because they are scared to be shamed. They are scared to be blamed. And I feel like when I talk about this out loud, I give a voice to the problem and I speak for those who are keeping silence and who are not ready yet to come up. Because unfortunately, statistics are not real. Like they are real, but thing is that like we know that this amount of people face sexual assault, right? Or like different types of abuse, but there's so many more people who didn't actually share their story, guilt out of shame, out of fear. So we don't really know real numbers. And it is scary. I often share my story in private conversations, and I am horrified of amount of people tell me their stories back. And basically in my surrounding, I would say every second person experienced different types of sexual assault, and it doesn't matter the gender, female and male, both. So when I write songs about this, I know this is a hard topic and not everybody could like listen to songs about this, but this is my art and I want to empower it. And I want to pour out all of that. I was holding this for so long. And then when I started sharing this, I realized that the only person who actually didn't believe me was my parent, who was supposed to protect me. My mom actually never believed me. I didn't disclose this to her while I was a kid. I disclosed to her when I was an adult because I had this little sense that my mom would not believe me. So I waited until time when I can actually face this, that my mother didn't believe me. Like I needed to take care of myself. So I told her when I was ready, and the worst nightmare came true. My mom didn't believe me. And that really hurt me. I think that hurt me more than what abuser done to me. My abuser was my stepfather, and it was happening for many years. And I felt very sad that my own mother would not at least believe me. But then when I started sharing this story, I realized that nobody's questioning me. People see me talking about this and they feel connected, and sometimes they share their stories. And unfortunately, this thing when your mom doesn't believe you is very common. And over this pain, you actually unite with other people who experience the same, and you become part of community. And I'm so proud of myself overstepping the fear and started talking about this and singing about this. I start seeing people coming to me and opening up their doors. That means a lot.
Yeah, yes, it does. Absolutely. Do you feel like a sense of responsibility as an artist to speak on these issues? Or is it simply what flows from your personal story?
I feel kind of both. I would say it's more complex than just one thing. I feel that it would be good to have someone who survived it and were able to navigate through life and find a good ground to stand on. Because when I was a kid, I actually didn't have too many examples of strong female in my life. And I wanted to have a role model to look up to. And there were unfortunately not too many. There were no one actually in my physical network surrounding. There was just only somebody on TV. Actually, one of those rock musicians I was listening to, female rock musicians, those people I was looking up to. I would think oh, they made it, then I will make it. And by the way, Korn, I never actually liked Korn music. Oh my God, please don't come after me. I'm not. I just don't like their type of mixing. They have lots of indie sounds there in vocals. I don't like their very dry mainstream vocals when it comes to if you compare Limp Bizkit and Korn, new metal scene, right? Old school, 2000 type. I like Limp Bizkit mixing rather Korn, but I absolutely love the message Korn is delivering. And I know that they spoke out loud about their experiences. And unfortunately, they experienced lots of child abuse too. And when I was listening to these interviews, I was thinking, listen, they made it, I can make it too. So I would say I would like to make it in music industry. So maybe my story will empower some little girl the same way.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. When fans approach you about how your music connects to their own trauma, how do you process and carry that weight?
Well, we always hug.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, I'm getting emotional. I had this show. I performed my song called I'll Never Be the Same. Yeah. And I cried. People in the crowd cried. And a few people came backstage, people I never met. And they didn't need to tell me their stories. I could see that they know what I'm talking about. So we just hugged. We hugged, cried. And then she said, thank you. And I never saw her anymore. But I think that was magical. I'm sorry.
That's a very magical moment.
I always promised myself not to cry. I always cry.
It's fine. That's a definitely magical moment. The connection through music and the power of healing through it gets overlooked, but it does exist.
It does. I would say music is the most healthy thing I found to process. Luckily, I'm not to alcohol or drugs. I actually very against drugs. And for alcohol, my body absolutely doesn't digest any alcohol. So I think I'm lucky. So I didn't fall into this path when I was young, because I was looking for ways to find the destruction. And some of my peers were really into alcohol. And I remember when I was younger, I was trying. And my body would never let me do it. And I think I'm very lucky, but I actually discovered different self-destructive ways. and I fall into self-harm. And then the music was so strong and so powerful, it overshadowed all of other ways, destructive ways to survive, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I would say music is the healthiest, purest way to heal for me. And those people who are like, oh, it's devil's music. I mean, seriously, this devil's music helped me to survive and become a decent human being.
That's right. You're a superhuman.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Tax season is open, and so is the hunting season for identity thieves. While you're focused on filing returns, checking refunds, and getting your paperwork in order, criminals are working overtime trying to steal what doesn't belong to them: your identity, your information, and your peace of mind. Identity theft isn't just a hassle. It can cost you months of stress, frozen accounts, denied refunds, and thousands of dollars to clean up. And most people don't realize how exposed they are until it's already happened. That's why identity theft protection matters, especially this time of year. It's about early detection, monitoring, and having someone in your corner before a small problem becomes a major one. If you want to learn how to protect yourself and your family, reach out to us directly. Send an email to ugnpodcast@gmail.com with the subject line Identity Theft, and a representative from Underground Nation will get back to you, because protecting your identity isn't optional anymore, it's essential.
If you, you've rocked stages like the Palace of Fine Arts and San Francisco City Hall. What's the difference in energy when you're in an iconic hall versus an intimate club like a brick and mortar?
You know, in those particular venues, there was huge difference because at City Hall and Palace of Fine Arts, I was as a pop singer, also original artist, also Alex Sandra, but I was singing my pop singles back then. And at brick and mortar, I went back to my rock era. And the difference is huge. Even though Palace of Fine Arts and San Francisco City Hall was 500 plus people, and brick and mortar was, I think we drew 200 people that day, 220, that felt so much more powerful. I felt connection. You know, sometimes when you are on the stage and you are experiencing this flow, like when you are in some kind of like neurological high, when you are standing on stage and you are emotionally connected to people, to musicians, and you all experiencing all of this magic, it's electric. That's what was going on in brick and mortar. And I felt completely, fully engaged. And I feel like every person in that crowd was experiencing the same feeling. I don't know how to explain that. And then in Palace of Fine Arts, when I was performing pop, it was great too. It was actually really good. But I haven't had this connection, you know? So I don't know. I think it depends from genre, because pop music, for me personally, it is not that deep than rock music. And the themes I'm singing about is a little different, you know? I wasn't able to fully find my real personality through pop. I found it through rock. But I tried so hard. I tried for 6 years.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it definitely sounded great. Absolutely. I will say that.
Thank you.
What has been, well, let me ask you this. Do you approach your set list differently depending on whether you're at a corporate gig like Meta or a hardcore music venue?
Yeah, of course. For original music, I have actually a headlining show coming up in San Francisco, and I have opening show coming up in Los Angeles and also around California. For those, we have like 45, 30-minute sets. And for those, I always put my original music. And now I am getting booked for metalcore concerts, for like more heavier curated lineups. And for those, I put together my latest singles, because my new album I'm going to be dropping in 2026 going to be so much heavier than music I was doing before. And I feel like I finally found my sound. So I'm doing more and more heavier songs into my show list. But when it is a booked gig for a private corporate event, I put together something what they want to like. If it is background music, I choose something medium tempo, The Weekend, and if it is they want jazz, I put jazz songs there. I never sing
Dang, what's
song.
that?
Yeah, I mean,
You like
that's
that?
me singing my song Barbie Girl, which is like full of cursing for Facebook. That
It's very cool. When that moment when you said, "This is my sound, I did it. This is it." Was that a feeling of accomplishment when that moment happened?
You know what feeling is this? When you feel finally all of your like little bits of personality kind of merge into one. I struggled with self identity for a long time. And because of my trauma, I would dissociate a lot. I would imagine that I am a character in the movie and what's happening to me, it's not real. It's more like movie. And that kind of broke apart my personality. And for a long time, I kind of struggled with self-identity and understanding who I am. And I would say sometimes during therapy sessions, I'm telling my therapist, thank you so much for helping me to become one whole thing. Because I feel like I'm like a broken vase with lots of pieces. So what I do, I put these pieces back and glue them together. And even though I'm still broken vase, at least I'm a whole vase, you know? So I would say when I found my genre, I feel that all of my personalities merge together. Because I am that Barbie looking girl on corporate event too. And I am a mom of my 2 kids. And I'm a wife. And I'm a rock musician. And I'm a survivor. I'm so many things. Yeah. But when I'm on the stage, singing my original songs, looking the way I think interprets the best version of me, I feel this is who I am.
Absolutely.
So I feel like my music is just made all of my little bits into one, and I feel me.
Absolutely. How does it feel to almost be like that role model that you wish you had to your little ones?
Oh, it's surreal. I can't believe I made it.
Yes.
Even though I didn't make it in music yet, but I feel I'm still like I feel something is happening. Especially with when I found my sound, I feel it is escalating so quickly, so rapidly. I'm just keep asking. I was like, is this really happening? But as a personality, like as a person, I think I made it already.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
It feels surreal.
Absolutely. Success is defined, but differently from every artist I talk to.
Yeah.
How do you define your success?
It's such a good question. I actually did define my success because my husband asked me this question, and I took half year of thinking about this. I finally found an answer.
Right.
When it comes to numbers, I would consider myself successful rock artist when I will have 1 million monthly listeners, when I will have opportunity to draw around 200 people on cities I do not live in, and will be accepted by underground metalcore community. Yeah. That's when it comes to numbers. When it comes to emotional goals, I would like to make a little impact on people who struggle with the same problems and be able to connect with survivors. And maybe, what's the word in English? If I will be able make money and give that part of the money towards people like I to kind of help them get out of that situation.
Yeah. Would you
Charity,
ever consider starting your own charity?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that by chance something you may have put thought into?
I already actually started doing things for many years. I volunteer for lots of organizations and back in my country and here too. And I give my home as a shelter to women who are trying to escape from domestic violence. And because I have a law degree myself, I also give legal support. I actually
Really?
Yeah, I have a criminal law degree.
No kidding.
Yeah, I'm not certified in America. I have a degree from my country, but it's all based on Romanian law. English is not my first language, so maybe I'm not particularly correct. But
you're fine. Take your time.
The basics of law are same. So because I have law degree, I can research and give some basics and navigate them towards proper organizations where they can seek help. And
Absolutely.
I've been giving shelters for over 10 women.
Incredible. Thank you for doing that for them.
Of course, I think I'm doing this more also for myself. This is the way I'm
sure. Absolutely. Wow, incredible.
If you're an artist or in a band that could use some extra exposure, look no further than Underground Nation magazine. They have everything you need to get some extra eyes on your project. Get started on your custom marketing campaign, spanning web, social, and print today. Visit underground-nation.com. That's underground-nation.com for more info. Underground Nation, the #1 trusted source for underground music news.
So I'm in the financial services for. That's what I got my certifications for, and that's why I said in the beginning of the podcast I help educate artists, because a lot of them don't get the education that other people get just because we have red beards and crazy hair, and the traditional financial person won't approach us to help us simply because they're scared of us. So I kind of took it upon myself to get that education so I could give it to other artists that may be in that position of they want to break through, but they just can't get the resources together. So I kind of feel like I'm that bridge for them in that regards. Just like you with law.
Yeah, I actually got my law degree to protect myself, but then later I realized that I can actually share free lawyer services for those people who need, because when somebody is trying to escape abusive relationships, they need lots of support, not only psychological, physical, and also they need consultations what they do. Some of them doesn't even have documents when they run. Like person who escaped abusive relationships, I actually even didn't have my birth certificate. So I went through process myself completely as a 14-year-old to get all documents.
No kidding. Those like paper.
So my mom is a felon, and she's the con artist, being convicted twice. And unfortunately, she was operating such a big amount of money that I was lots of dangers. I was kidnapped a few times, and
my goodness,
I was not only abused by my stepfather, because my mom would date con other people with lots of issues. And she would also be involved with groups of gangs and stuff. So it was really rough. And I would be sometimes illegally kept by police. But those policemen would be somebody who is corrupted. So I decided to get education so I can actually protect myself, because I got really tired of being pushed around all the time.
Absolutely.
So I didn't have feeling that I was protected by the law. I mean, law existed to protect me. Just implementing the law was a problem. The logistics was a problem. I was not protected in reality. By law, yes, but not in reality.
Yeah. Well, that makes me angry inside. I'm so sorry that happened.
That makes me angry too. I'm still very angry. That's why I have very angry music.
So let's get back to the music, because you just said you found your sound. You got your album's coming out next year that's gonna bear this sound. Can you walk us through your songwriting process? Do the words come first, or the music?
Idea of the song comes first. I have always written a little notes what I would like to write song about, because sometimes I'm going through spirals and I'm like, okay, this is actually something what doesn't leaves my mind. I need to write this out. And when I'm in the moment, when I'm processing these feelings, the best words come together, right? So recently I was driving and I saw this young mom with 2-year-old toddler in her arms on the exit of highway begging for money. And I got triggered so badly, I accidentally hit the curb and pull over very weirdly. And I stopped and I took full 10 minutes to calm down, because I was homeless for a few days when I was 10. Oh no, I was not 10. I was 11. I was 11. And I had my 1-year-old brother in my arms, and I was begging for food on the street. And when I saw this, it was just stuck in my throat. And I started writing. I was triggered so badly, I started writing. My first thought was how this is fucking okay that we live in this society where mom with toddlers can be on the street. How this is okay. How we exist as a humanity when we have this situation existing. So I normally don't really tap into politics. I'm standing up for social injustices. But some stuff like this is impossible to separate. So I sat down and I wrote words which come up to my head, like crisis, I'm so fed up with this. And like, I now I'm like so upset. I don't remember what I wrote, but I wrote like I remember I wrote the word crisis because it's a crisis.
Yes.
And then like little cursing like fuck this and stuff like that. And I was like, I'm gonna write song about that. And I was so angry a few days. I was like really spiraling back and forth. And then I wrote course of the song. And later we produced this song with my producer and co-write the whole thing. And that song called Crisis, which I'm dropping actually September 19. And also I'm dropping music video. So this is how this song came true. I just pulled over from the highway, wrote a little idea. Then I met with the producer. We wrote the whole thing, and that's how it happened.
Wow, incredible. I cannot wait to hear this disaster piece.
It's an aggressive song.
How do you decide which personal experiences are ready to be put into a...
There are like few ways to do that. From artistic perspective, I just put together words for something what hurts the most or inspires the most, like something what is on surface. Like today I could be a little sad, tomorrow I could be very happy, and like comes and goes, right? But from a management perspective, from marketing perspective, which is I'm also considering because I'm my own marketing team and I'm my own manager for a moment. I hope someday this will change. I will have enough money to hire people who can help me do this. But today I am on my negative income, negative profit, so I do this myself. And when I think about album the whole, I'm considering, okay, I have angry songs, I have sad songs, I have even love songs. And I think I'm just thinking that because album is a story, it should have different parts of the story, which has different emotions. So this is how I make decisions. How many of songs is going to be about social injustices? How many is going to be for neutral themes? How many going to be for love songs? So
yeah, absolutely. Very cool. Do you ever feel like the music you're writing today will be different from the music you'll want to perform 10 years from now?
God hope, because I spent the last 15 years of trying to find who am I as an artist. I'm so done of exploring.
Yeah.
I'm finally ready to stuck to my genre and do that.
Let's go.
I just hope that this is it. I found it And this is it. I'm not changing any more genres anymore.
Yes. Well, you got our full support here at the Underground Nation. I mean, we want to help you push this new album to the masses.
Thank you. Hopefully we can.
Oh, it's exciting. I'm excited to hear this thing. So I mean, you kind of brought up a subject there. I mean, you said like touring and performing in California. I know that isn't cheap, talking to other bands I've interviewed. But what for you, what has been your biggest financial challenge in keeping your music career moving forward?
Well, I am a mom of two. My older one, do you remember I said I was single mom? Now she's almost an adult. So she's 18 in 2 months.
All right.
And
Happy birthday.
my younger daughter is a toddler. She just started preschool. So as a female, I can say it is very difficult to succeed as a working mom in your career. Doesn't matter what career it is. You are trying to approach your goals with having family on your shoulders. This is something what I want to talk about when I will be financially successful by music. I want to speak up to moms and tell them that I see them, because financial toll is huge. So you provide for your family, for your children, and also trying to approach career goals. Every maternity leave is 3 years out of business. I was just talking to my colleague. She's a drummer, and she was like, "Hey, Alex, I just wanted to ask you, I'm planning to have a child. I'm so scared I'm going to be losing my opportunities." And I look at her, I was like, "Hey girl, I'm so sorry, but you will." Yeah. Society will tell you that you have like rights and everything. As a musician, you will be kicked out of music scene. People will replace you and forget about you, because 3 years, it's a long time. So when you will come back, you will need to start again. Yeah. She's like, "Oh my God, this sucks." I was like, "I know this sucks." So if I will be able to make this big impact on music industry, at least, I not only want to make impact towards musicians and music professionals. I'm going to talk about this a little bit more, but quickly about female in music industry, right? What I think would be considered good if female musicians would have some kind of like special categories they can fall into. Like, for example, I came back from maternity leave. I haven't been on music scene for 3 years. I would like to be able, for festival, if I have a good music and band together, right? Yes, I haven't been in scene for 3 years because I was raising child, another member of society, right? And now I'm kicked out fully from business. I need to start all over. I would think would be cool if there would be some reserved space for moms or homestaying dads, because there are plenty of homestaying dads in music industry. So I think if I would be able to make an impact, I would love to sponsor artists like that out of my pocket. Fuck that. I will pay for it. I will support. I will pay for their transportations, whatever it takes. And when it comes to music, even though my profit is negative, I always pay, first of all, same amount to women and men, doesn't matter. And I always pay out of pocket. I bust my ass on my other jobs, but my musician's going to be paid. My musician's going to be paid. My photographer going to be paid. My videographer going to be paid. Everybody's going to be fucking paid. Sometimes my session musicians, they are like, "Alex, this time we want you." They are trying to volunteer their time to support my music because they like what I do and what I stand for. And then we have this traditional fight. No, you get money. No, you keep the money. But this is how I do. And I hope one day when I will be able to make a profit out of my music, I want to make sure that people in my team are well set and well taken care of.
Absolutely. Amen to that.
Well, hopefully, yeah.
Some artists wait to be discovered. Others step into the shadows and take their shot. Welcome to Mic Check Thursday, hosted by the host with the ghost, Bounce Ball Boogie. Every week, the boogeyman opens the gates, searching for the realest voices in the underground. No industry politics, no fake hype, just raw talent and honest feedback. Think you've got a hot track? For just 99 coins, submit your song and get one guaranteed play live. Get reviewed by Bounce Ball Boogie and the full panel of creatures from the Boogieverse. And if your sound hits different, you might earn something most artists never get: a personal invitation to a spotlight interview on the official Underground Nation podcast. This isn't a contest. This is a gateway to exposure, to community, to your next level. Join us live for Mic Check Thursday. Bring your track, bring your courage, and step into the Boogieverse. The underground is watching. Are you ready to be heard?
As an independent artist, though, how do you balance paying for recording, promotion, travel, while still trying to live day to day?
There is no fucking balance. You're just working yourself till death. Well, I think, I'm in my late 30s, right? At this time, I'm already on different financial level. Rather, I was in my early 20s when I was like fucking broke.
Yeah.
I have my little like small business. Also, my family, my husband is in tech industry, so we are able to maintain pretty good lifestyle in California with prices like this. So I found my music partially from, actually I find my music from my music. I found this rock music from my pop music, from gigging. And I'm really struggling. I'm cash poor. This is what I'm saying. I'm cash poor. I maxed out my credit card. Hopefully I'll be able to pay that off soon.
Yes, you will.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Yes, you
I didn't
will.
mean to burden you with that. I'm just glad I
So
actually
burden?
maxed out my card and I need to book another studio time for.
You maxed out the card to put into recording and stuff?
Yeah, I maxed out my credit card, but I have other gigs paid off. It's just like when you perform for hotels, they're paying you within 30 days. So I'm getting checks coming in. And so I'm like, oh my God, come on, people.
Right. Yeah, all in God's timing. It's coming. It is coming.
Yeah.
Well, Alexandra, where do you see Alexandra 5 years from now? Bigger stages, bigger collaborations, or something completely unexpected?
I think I have really good chance. I've been to this business many years, 20 plus years, and I've been successful in my career. So I'm not relying on hope. I actually feel I have real chance. I think I finally have my style, my voice, and I am fucking workaholic person.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, and I've learned that working harder doesn't really help. Working smarter, this is what helps. And so I think I finally have all of these tools in my hands right now, and I feel in control. So in 5 years, I see myself successful, unless brick will fall off the roof and just like kill me right there, or hopefully I will be healthy, like not some kind of like disease is gonna like break me down. But I see myself performing for big festivals, being lined up with big artists I'm listening to today. I listen lots of underground stuff, and I see lots of people I feel they're gonna elevate. And I see myself in the same lineup with them in 5 years on big stages.
Yes, absolutely. I can see it too.
Yeah.
And I can see the passion in your eyes as you talk about it. So that's pretty cool.
I feel I have lots of things to offer. I think I'm already changing micro and economy around me by providing jobs, by paying taxes, by working my ass off and opening the doors for minorities and different type of things what is normally gatekept. And I think that really has big effect. When I will be bigger artist, I can multiply what I do.
Yes, absolutely. Multiply. We don't die, we multiply.
Exactly.
If you could go back and give advice to your younger self, that girl that was struggling, going through being bullied and loneliness, what would you say to her?
I would not tell anything to her. She was doing the right thing. Don't think anybody should come back and give her any advice, even me. She was doing the right thing. I'm proud for everything I've done, except one little thing I cannot expose. I just can't say what this relate to.
Yeah.
I was helping someone who went through sexual abuse from early childhood. And back then, I actually didn't know very important thing that unfortunately so people who experience sexual abuse in very early childhood, they have several pathways and there are statistics behind it. Some people are survivors. Some people stuck into victimized role when they feel like they need to punish themselves over and over again. So they get stuck in this position when they are like victims forever. So they engage with abusers over and over again. And some people become abusers themselves. I didn't know this. So if I would do the only thing what I would do, I would go back and tell myself that when I will be helping to this little child, I need to give the help that child needs so the child would not fall in path of abuser when he will grow up. Unfortunately, There was someone I helped went to pass being an abuser now, and that broke my soul. And I'm not angry at that person. I'm not. I just feel I didn't stop the cycle.
Yeah.
So this is the only thing. The arrest I don't regret. I'm proud of who I am right now. So I would say nothing to myself. I would be like, you got it.
You got it. You got it. You got it. Well, Alexandra, what legacy do you want to leave behind for both your fans and survivors who look to your story for strength?
Free space for anybody. Doesn't matter, color, gender, position, financial position. And most importantly, it hurts me seeing how metal scene being so aggressive towards our own, like calling each other posers, and fashion police is always out there. Oh, where did you get your shirt from? Can you tell me fucking 3 songs of this? I want my people know. I don't fucking care. Do you know 3 songs of my... If you got my merch, I promise you invested into something very good. That money you brought to me by buying my merch, I invested in good. So thank you for listening to me. Thank you for knowing my name. Thank you. And my community is safe space for anybody. And if somebody will start pulling out that poser shit, like poser police shit,
Yeah.
I will speak out loud.
Yeah. And I'll speak out too, and I'll come give him one of these if you want me to.
Yeah, like, what the hell?
Knuckle sandwich, boy. Hold on.
Let this kid to explore. Maybe this person discovered rock music today. Let this person explore. Why are you bullying each other?
Exactly.
Bullying
Right.
in your community. No. Never. We take care of each other. We don't bully each other.
Exactly. Amen to that one. Well, Alexandra, it's been an amazing conversation. From this day going forward, the Underground Nation wants to support you with new releases, new show announcements. Please float them our way. We'd love to share it on our pages and help you spread the message to the masses.
Thank you so much. I appreciate being here.
Absolutely. Thank you again. You're amazing. Is there any any shout outs, any thank yous, anything maybe we forgot to promote?
I have shows coming up, but I want to shout out everybody who is helping me succeed. I have lots of friends in music industry who believe in me, who dedicating their time to elevate me. Even like a little thing like comment on their post, that's huge. There are days when I feel like I cannot make it, but then I see this support. Shout out to all those who are believing into artistry and who are helping us to have a voice.
Yes, absolutely. And that's what we're doing here at the Underground Nation, being the voice of the voiceless, shining the spotlight those that are stuck underground, helping them use when others say that they can't.
Yeah, to that.
Underground Nation, that was Alex Sandra, bringing truth, pain, and triumph straight from the heart. Make sure you show love, go stream her music, follow her journey on social media, and stay connected to the fire she's bringing to the underground and beyond. Like, follow, and subscribe to Alexandra today, and always keep it locked right here with your host with the ghost, Bounce Ball Boogie. Visit the Underground Nation. That's www.underground-nation.com for more interviews, more music, and more stories from the artists who move the culture. Until next time, stay underground.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Alexandra.
Underground Nation, what a conversation. If Alexandra's story and sound moved you today, don't let it stop here. Go show your support, like, follow, and subscribe to Alexandra on all streaming and social platforms. Stream the music, share the message, be part of the movement. And if you want more interviews, more independent artists, and everything moving and grooving underneath the surface, make sure you visit underground-nation.com. This is where real stories live. This is where the culture breathes. Until next time, stay independent, stay inspired, and stay underground.